Okay, and hopefully we are live. And welcome once again to our Tuesday chat, where we are talking about trekking in Nepal. And today what we're going to talk about is how do you actually work out which region you want to go to, what sort of trek you want to do, and how Nepal can offer you the most exciting and the most successful trek. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Hill, and my journey and adventure in Nepal started back in 2015 when I decided that I would trek to Everest Base Camp, not knowing anything about trekking or Nepal before I got there. So it was an interesting trip for me. And I think one of the biggest lessons for me was that whilst trekking in Nepal is an absolute physical challenge, the mental challenge and the mindset that you need to successfully complete these sort of adventures is only something that usually you develop along the way. And then a couple of years after I trekked to Everest Base Camp, I went back again and did Annapurna circuit. And both of these journeys led me to a huge path of personal development and personal growth. And that's something that I'm really passionate about sharing with people as much as I can, and to get the message out and get people to go there and really experience that when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when your growth really, really begins. But before we dive in, I'm just going to hand over to Dinesh and let him introduce himself.
Namaste, this is Dinesh from Nepal, and welcome everyone to the events. I'm Dinesh from Nepal, and I was born in eastern part of Nepal, just located in Mount Everest, where I spent my nearly 2 decades in my childhood in that village. Then I came to Kathmandu in my early age, almost 20 years ago now. And since that date, I started this sector, this Nepal tourism sector, since 2003 to continue now. So in beginning, I was working as a helper, like porter job, almost like 6-7 years to supporting people, and I've been like almost everywhere in Nepal, and where are the most trekking trails with carrying the porter bags and helping the peoples. And then every season and every year I upgrade my job and getting like different positions. I work as an assistant guide, a cook, and then finally I became more than 15 years ago a full guide. And I have been working one of the topest level companies in Nepal who have good reputations. We've been working there like 15 years. Then last 8 years, we have now finally our one company, Nature Explore Trek. And Michelle and I, we're running this project through our company, and we have a very good reputation. So we've been organizing trekking all over the Nepal, including Tibet, Bhutan, India. And I also have a good chance to visit West Europe a couple of times. I've been trekking there like in Switzerland, the place mentioned like Zermatt to Saspe, and this beautiful trekking trail and completely different than Nepal. So, and also I'm organizing the big groups, leading the big groups in Kailas in Tibet. The Kailas is located west of Tibet. The Tibet at Lhasa, the Lhasa is capital city of Tibet. So been like working in this job last almost 21 years now. So I'm very exciting, and I'm looking forward to watch this trip from Nepal. And I'm looking forward to everyone to welcome here in our November trip, Discover Your Race in Page.
Yes.
So welcome everyone.
Yeah, because and I've got some sad news for you, Dinesh. I think technically I've mucked it up because we're not actually live on Facebook, but we will continue recording and then we will post this later, I think. Yes, our Discover Your Edge trip, that incorporates the beautiful Ghorepani Poonhill trek. So perhaps you want to tell us a little bit about that one.
The Ghorepani, the beautiful Ghorepani Poonhill trekking, it is located in western Nepal, just beneath of Mount Annapurna and above the Pokhara city. The Pokhara is our third popular and popular nice city in Nepal, after Kathmandu and another cities in Biratnagar. So these short and sweet treks take you through the beautiful landscapes, hills, snow caps, mountains, and charming people and fascinating culture, everything along the way. When we get on top of the Poonhill, so we will have a stunning view of Mount Annapurna and Mount Dhaulagiri, including Fishtail Mountain. Fishtail is the holiest mountain nobody climbed at. It is 6,993 meter elevation. So it is really pointy and technical mountains. So this is also part of the good view from Poonhill. And Poonhill,
I do remember the view from Poonhill and getting up in the dark to get up there for sunrise.
yeah. We
now,
start.
Why would people like? What are some of the advantages of choosing a trek like this one?
Choosing like this one is beginners. So those who are beginners and for traveling first time Nepal and planning to do short trip, according to their timing farm. So this is very suitable for them for fitness level, for altitude elevation and the train. And this is for beginners, and this is short and sweet treks, and which is give you the good train for your future another trip.
Okay, so we come and try this one out and then see what we want to do next. Is that the idea?
Yes, it is the first taste of Nepal about trek, and then you will learn.
Because it's not too high in elevation, is it?
It is.
What's the highest?
The highest point of this trek is 3,210 meters from Poonhill viewpoint, where we see most of the mountains in same picture.
Yeah. So from what we talked about last week about altitude sickness, then by staying at that level, we still might get some symptoms, but it's not as bad as going up to 4,000 or 5,000 meters. Is that right? It
is. For when we're doing this Ghorepani Poonhill trekking, so we're not because we're not going very higher altitude. So we might feel a little bit like dehydrate or a little headache early in the morning when we climb up to the viewpoint. But it will be no problem because we will be not that much higher. Okay. So nobody have to worry for this trip about altitude.
Yeah. Now I know like probably the most famous trek in Nepal is Everest Basecamp trek, but then when we were looking at the different types of treks, there's also an Everest view trek. Now, what's the difference between Everest view trek and Everest Basecamp trek?
Yes, thank you for very good questions. Everest, let me explain from Everest Basecamp, okay?
Yeah.
So Everest Basecamp trek is one of the popular and bucket list trip for everyone, all the travel seekers from around the world. And it is Everest, if we compare Everest View and Everest Basecamp, they're in the same trail, okay? Same trail, same reason. If we do Everest Basecamp, we have to trek like more longer to get reach to the base camp, 5,310 meters. We need like more longer time. And also, if we want to do the Everest Basecamp, we need to be physically and mentally fit. And Everest Basecamp is more like harder than Everest Viewpoint because you have to go more further up in altitude. Yeah. Right. And those someone who want to see in short time Everest mountain view from short distance. Right. And those who want to see the first experience with Sherpa culture and museum and see the panoramic view of Everest region. So those people trekking only in Everest view for beginners. If you are not fit and fine physically and mentally, just do the Everest viewpoint. Yeah. Right. And if you are well fit and you have enough time, and trek to the Everest Basecamp. So how long would, like with the Everest view trek, like how long will that take, and where do you actually, how far up do you go? Do you like and then turn around? Yes, normally it is 6 to 7 days trekking, including like Kathmandu to Kathmandu. Right. Okay. We will trek like 3 to 4 days all the way up to the Tengbuche monastery. Okay. Point. It is like 5 days trekking going up, and then 2 days coming down to Lukla before we catch our flight back to Kathmandu. And our last elevation will be 3,800 meters at that viewpoint, where we see the Mount Everest and we turn our trip down. So again, we're not heading up to the much higher altitudes, so the impact of the altitude and the altitude sickness would be lower. Yes,
Yeah.
because we will be not that higher if we do the Everest viewpoint trek. So it will be no problem for altitude also. So that's the reason this trekking is designed for beginners.
Right.
So those who are not trek before much and who doesn't have like who haven't been before in much higher, then this trek is very suitable to test like comfortable trek and good view before they go more higher.
All right. So it sounds to me like there's and I know you mentioned a couple of others like Langtang and Pikey Peak Viewpoint that are a little bit easier, a little bit more designed for beginners, not as long and not as high, but still beautiful, I would imagine.
Yes, you're right.
Like I have been to Ghorepani and Poonhill, and yes, it is beautiful there. So
yeah, like we have many different trekking trails. You can choose any of them. As you mentioned, the Langtang Valley Trek, Pikey Peak Trail Trek. These are also easy and comfortable trekking for beginners.
All right. So
they
what
are
about,
also
sorry to interrupt.
They are also so beautiful trek.
What about if somebody wants something a little bit more challenging? They've done maybe what they consider an easier one, or they've done a lot of hiking and they're quite fit and they want to come and really challenge themselves, but they don't want to like do the same as everyone else and like go to Everest Base Camp. What about if they want to choose something different? What would be something that you would come up with if I said, I don't want to go where the crowds are, but I want something that's going to really push me and make me work and really give me a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, if someone already done the common trek and easy treks and they are very well experienced trekkers or hikers, and still they are looking the quite like kind of remote area of Nepal, they can do the many trips here like Mount Kanchenjunga Basecamp trek.
Yeah,
it is the hottest world's high mountain. Manaslu circuit trek. It is our like another beautiful over 8,000-meter high mountain trek.
How high does that one go? Sorry.
Manaslu circuit trek is 5,130-meter high passes where we will pass. Yeah. And also the Annapurna circuit trek. It is also quite adventure trek. Right. And also Mount Makalu Basecamp trek. Yeah. It is also remote and very quiet trekking trail. And if they want to do more remote and long trek, if they have a flexible on time, they can go to the Upper Dolpo, which is the far western Nepal. Yep. And Upper Dolpo, Lower Dolpo, like these routes are very remote and very advanced trekking. Those who are looking for quite remote and advanced treks in Nepal.
So that one that you just mentioned, the remote one, is there tea houses along that route, or what do you do?
Half. We do half. That means like we carry our like certain tent and food with us, along with us, and where we get that local houses, we will stay with them. Basically, there is no tea house, so we stay in like homestay style.
Oh, right. So you just go and stay in people's houses.
Yeah, like using organic food and supporting them.
Okay.
And then just staying with the familiar.
I thought for a minute you were going to say that you stay in a tent or something.
Yes. I'm coming. Continue.
Yeah.
So, and then when we don't get any house or any local village along the way, we will set our tent.
Okay.
And stay at the tent. Yeah.
Oh, that might be a bit remote for me.
Yeah, I'm talking like those who are very experienced trekkers and looking for go to the remote area of Nepal.
Yeah.
I mentioned like Upper Dolpo, Humla, Humla Valley, Limi Valley, Upper Dolpo, Lower Dolpo, Makalu Basecamp, and Kanchenjunga. These are like very remote area. Okay. So where we cannot get proper tea house. So at that case, we spend our night with local people house and stay with use their food and paying your money to direct to them with very support for their family. Okay,
well that could be really interesting and exciting though.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's very different.
It is very different. Yeah. Different to compare to like Everest, Annapurna Basecamp, or Everest Basecamp, because these are very busy trekking trail in high season, in peak season. But this remote trekking trail are not busy as like Everest or Annapurna.
Okay, so
yeah, those are the trips designed for who are looking for long long adventure treks in Nepal.
right. Okay, so people who want to come and do the bucket list trek to Everest Base Camp, but they don't want like to be like when it's really crowded. Can you still kind of do it like not quite in the main season and still get the same experience?
Yes, it is possible. Those
Yeah.
who doesn't want to trek together with crowd numbers of trekkers at the same time, they can do early like early October or end of the November.
Right.
You know, we have last 5 to 10 years experience now. The weather is changing. Even in like December, January, weather is perfect. I mean, like, well, the temperature will fall a little down,
Yeah.
but if we compare the sunshine and clear sky, we have like better weather in December, in January also.
Okay. Because I always assumed that if I came in like December or January that there was going to be snow everywhere.
Yeah, it is supposed to be, but I think it is global warming. So
Yeah.
now it
Okay.
is not, it's snowing in December or January. When we
Right.
have a good enough warmer gear, like trekking equipment, like warm jackets, boots,
Yeah.
we can do trekking in December, January. Those people who are looking
Okay.
white.
Oh, maybe that's something I should try.
Yes, you are welcome. Welcome to,
All
yeah,
right. So let me pose this question to you because I know that you have trekked all over the place and you've done all these different trails. If I said to you, which one is your favorite?
this is very good questions and interesting. I love Nepal and I'm from here. I love to go everywhere. All the trails is
Yeah.
my favorite, including like Tibet, Kailash. I already mentioned my beginning of journey.
Yeah.
Even in Europe, but among of them, I liked Everest Base Camp and Everest region. Not only Everest Base Camp, there is Everest Three High Passes and
Yes.
Bokyo Valley, like one of the heritage trail where we can meet like a cultural nature, the mix of the adventure. These
Yeah.
are my favorite because I also from same region. And
Right.
where I was grew up, the reason why I like more is that reason. But compare and overall, I like everywhere. I mean like Nepal, like Annapurna, Langtang, because they're all are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone have different meaning, everyone have different view. Everyone
Okay.
has like different angles of mountains. And the culture are like everyone have a separate culture. So
Yeah.
we cannot get the same culture everywhere. For
Okay.
example, if we go Annapurna region, we will get like if we do the Poonhill trekking, we will get different culture, like different ethnic groups of people who live there. The same
Okay.
thing
So
if we do the trekking in Langtang, we will get different ethnic groups, like
okay.
another Tibetan culture.
All
So
right.
everywhere is so beautiful, and Nepal is always
Okay.
beautiful for trekkers, and it is the home of the Himalaya. And
Yeah.
I would like to welcome for all the adventurers
Yeah.
and mountain
And
lovers.
and with Nature Explore Trek, you provide the guides and the porters, and you organize all the permits and you look after people in terms of they don't have to worry about anything.
Yes, that's why we are here. So why we established this company is we providing the extra service than any others local travel agency in
Yeah.
Kathmandu. So we do our best, and we have like team of guide who have been in mountain with groups like many years already, and
Yeah.
who are born and brought from mountain, not from the city. We're
Yeah.
sitting in the chair and just talking. So what we talk in computer, same thing we deliver in the mountains.
Yeah. Cool. And I noticed because I had a sneak peek at TripAdvisor, and I just wanted to share with everybody who's watching this video that you have well over 100 5-star reviews on TripAdvisor, which is something to be very proud of. And aside from your 5-star reviews, there's only 2 4-star, and everybody loves you. So I think that's a very, very strong recommendation and a reflection of how well you look after the people who come and trek with you, and how well you know what you're doing, and like when you're taking people and explaining things to them as well. So thank you very much. Was there
Welcome.
anything that you wanted to add before we wrap this up, today?
For today, I think I'm okay with this.
Okay.
If anybody have any questions regarding trekking, peak climbing, or climbing big mountains, always feel free to contact us. So we're very happy to help anytime. We're very flexible. We can make your time the program as your time from. So we are always ready to serve and share our this long experience with you.
Yeah. So you have set dates for your tours, but if someone comes to you and says, oh, I want to do something different and I want to add this and put this here and do this and do that, and then I want to see something completely different, you can create a whole itinerary for people as well.
Yes, we can create as according to their interest and require. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I did mention at the start, and we alluded to, we have a special trip called Discover Your Edge, which we're running in November. Now, this is designed particularly for couples where one part of the couple really is interested in coming to Nepal and trekking in the mountains, and the other couple wants to come on an adventure holiday but doesn't really want to strap on the boots and go trekking. So what we've designed is a 2-week trip which has some cultural immersions. We have a give back day where we go and visit a school. We will be going to Chitwan to jungle safari. And the intrepid trekkers, me and Dinesh and the rest of the crew who are strapping on the boots, we will be going around the Ghorepani Poonhill area, while the non-trekkers will go to Lumbini and Bandipur, and then they'll come back and spend a couple of days in Pokhara, and we'll be organising cooking classes and market tours and different things for them to do as well. And then when we all come back together in Pokhara and after trekking for a week, then we will do a day in a yoga meditation retreat. And I also see that they have sound healing, and I think there's the mud healing as well. So that's going to be a really interesting day. Then we'll head back to Kathmandu and we'll have a little bit more free time, and that will be the end of the tour. And also, while we're doing that, as part of my coaching as well, we'll be doing intentions for the day and meditations. And we will also be looking at what are the things we've learned and what are we going to take away from our trip. So that's just a little bit of a wrap up for me. Next week, I promise that I will get the technology correct and we will stream live. However, this video will be up soon, and we will be back next Tuesday at 1:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time and 9 a.m. in Kathmandu. So thank you so much, Dinesh.
You're welcome.
Look forward. We haven't worked out next week's topic, but we will definitely have something really interesting to talk about.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Bye-bye.